Welcome to LATAM MedTech Insights. A common question we receive is whether a US FDA approval or a European CE mark can be used to directly sell a medical device in Chile. The short answer is no, but they are absolutely essential for the process. For years, Chile was viewed as one of the most accessible markets in Latin America because its regulations were not as stringent as neighbors like Brazil or Mexico. Mandatory registration with the health authority, the Instituto de Salud Pública, or ISP, was only required for a very specific list of devices, such as surgical gloves, condoms, and needles. For most other devices, the registration process was voluntary, creating a perception of an open market. However, the reality of market access was always more complicated. In practice, major buyers like public hospitals and private clinic networks would not purchase a device without proof of its quality and safety. This proof typically came in the form of a certificate of free sale, or CFS, from the device's country of origin. A CFS is issued only when a device is legally marketable in its home country, which means it must have approvals like FDA clearance or a CE mark. So, indirectly, these certifications were always critical for commercial success. The regulatory landscape is now undergoing a significant change. Chile is progressively implementing a new framework where registration with the ISP is becoming mandatory for all medical devices, regardless of their risk classification. This move aligns Chile with other major markets in the region. So, how do your existing approvals fit into this new system? Your FDA approval, or CE mark, is not an automatic passport to the Chilean market. You cannot simply ship your product to a distributor for sale. You must compile a registration dossier and formally submit it to the ISP for review. The great advantage is that the technical documentation you already created for your FDA 510(k) submission or your CE mark technical file will form the core of your Chilean dossier. This makes the process a streamlined, evidence-based review rather than starting from scratch. For example, a US company with an FDA-cleared orthopedic implant wanted to enter Chile. They found they could not sell to any major hospital without an ISP registration number. The process required them to appoint a local registration holder in Chile. They then submitted their technical dossier, which heavily leveraged their FDA documentation, including device descriptions, testing data, and manufacturing information. The ISP reviewed this package, and because it was based on a recognized, stringent approval, the review was predictable and successful. In summary, you cannot use your FDA or CE approval to bypass registration in Chile. You must undergo a formal registration process with the ISP. However, these approvals are the essential foundation of your submission and are your key to unlocking market access in this evolving regulatory environment. For expert guidance on navigating the regulatory landscape in Chile and across Latin America, please email us at info@pureglobal.com or visit our website at pureglobal.com.